Today I'm here to talk about a heavy topic, one that I don't usually bring on my channel, but it feels necessary for anyone out there that may be dealing with something similar. I will take you back to the day it all started. Everything happened on May 1st of this year. It was any other work day for me. I work from home. I do have a high stress job that requires a lot of mental energy. I have to be very quick to react, quick to think things through. I have to be able to act quickly in order to solve a problem. And it plays a lot into what has happened to me. It was a day where I was dealing with a lot of stress. Stress will cause a visceral reaction. I will get a fever-like reaction where my muscles and joints will hurt, and I feel feverish. It's very uncomfortable, and I never understood why until recently. So on May 1st, I'm working, and I actually had a grocery delivery to my house in between work calls. It was a very hectic day for work, so I was really trying to go get my groceries inside and bring them in, get back to work. It was around 1 because I realized I had not eaten all day and my body was feeling it. I was very worn down. I felt shaky. Like when you don't eat for too long, you feel shaky. So got the groceries in, got back to work, and then just ate a small meal just so I could get through the rest of my workday. I felt lightheaded. I could never shake it that entire day. The rest of the day, as I continued my workday, I just felt more and more weak, lightheaded, and then that night I already had plans to bake cookies with my daughter, so I said, I'm gonna need your help. And I told my my significant other that. I said, I'm not feeling great, I'm very lightheaded and weak, I need your help. So he helped as best he could. He's not great in the kitchen, but he helped. And so we got through that, we sat down, watched a movie, and I couldn't shake the feeling. I ate a good sized dinner, and then it just never went away. So later that night we go to bed, and then I woke up in the middle of the night, used the bathroom, and I remember I couldn't focus my eyes. They just kept jumping really horribly. I was scared. I felt very dizzy trying to get to the restroom, and it was very unsettling. So I laid back down. So I go back to sleep. I wake up the next morning. The room is spinning. The room is spinning to the point where I cannot stand without feeling like the floor will fall beneath me. I will fall through the floor. That's how I felt. It was horrible. So I get up the next morning. The spinning is so bad, I end up vomiting. So I do that. I take some Dramamine, hoping that will help. It did not. 2 hours later, I end up vomiting again, and at that point, it's so bad that I'm tremoring. My body is tremoring. I feel worse than ever. I cannot focus my eyes. Just having them open is causing a headache because they're jumping nonstop. I call my mom and tell her what's going on, and she said, you need to text your doctor. I texted him, but it's the weekend. He's with his family, So, she said, if you don't get better, you need to get to urgent care. You need to see what's going on. I can't even stand to get myself dressed. At this point, I'm crying because I feel so helpless. It's a very helpless feeling, not being able to even get yourself dressed. Because, first of all, I was so dizzy that it was impossible to stand without feeling like I would fall. And just the weakness, it took over me. And so he helped me get dressed, helped me walk to the car, helped me fill out paperwork at urgent care. We get back there. They don't know what's wrong. They do what they can. They run COVID, flu, and strep tests. I had strep a few weeks prior to this, so we're thinking it could be residual strep or something that caused it. Something that caused all the symptoms. Everything came back negative. So they hooked me up to an IV drip. They give me a very high dose of steroid, and they said, you need to follow up with your primary if you're not wanting to go to the ER, and maybe an ENT and see what's going on. Maybe there's some inner ear thing that we're not seeing. I go home, I'm feeling better than I was earlier in the day. I still wasn't able to focus my eyes, still felt extremely dizzy. My level of symptoms went from a 10 to a 9. So I mean, it wasn't significant, but it was significant enough for me to be able to speak, be able to semi-walk. So I go home and finally get a meal, because I hadn't eaten all day at this point because I was just so overwhelmed with everything that was happening to my body. And it's a lot when you don't know what it could be. I don't even think I realized the severity at the time. But so flash forward to the following week, Monday, first thing in the morning, I call my primary, make a follow-up with him, and make an appointment with an ENT, but that appointment was not for a month and a half. Great. So I call an alternate ENT, and I scheduled that appointment for that same week. So stay tuned for the update at those appointments.